out of defense and distress to more ease.
Okay.
Now, once we see that start to happen, we start transitioning to level 2. So I was talking about level 1, 3 levels. Level 2, intermediate care. Now that we have a semblance of a healthy spine, this is where the work starts. Unfortunately, people sometimes think like, oh, I was coming 3 times a week and now I'm coming twice, so I must be doing better and I can start missing visits. This is like I'm out of the danger zone. This intermediate care is really where the transformative work starts. Now, there's a baseline of a healthy spine. There's a baseline of your nerve system being able to find areas. And what we want to do is start helping your body learn the ability to make its own corrections. And this is the development of what we call the somatopsychic or body-mind wave. The somato for body, psychic for mind. It's not the reverse. It's not psychosomatic. The somatopsychic body-driven wave. So let me explain some aspects of that. But there's 3 steps to that intermediate care process. There's a beginning and middle and end. There's 3 different strategies of that wave that we want to see develop. So the twice weekly visit in the initial part, basic care, the rapid visit frequency, the 3 sessions a week was key for the spaced repetition of the person's body to start to learn how to connect, because they lose connection very quickly. Because your person's body is used to being disconnected. Now they're more used to being in their body. Their awareness increases. Their ability to pay attention to their body's rhythm and have safety about it increases. So that sets the stage that they can pay attention to the more chronic underlying things that their physiology has probably run away from for most of their life. Because spinal subluxations are caused by physical, chemical, and emotional stresses that overwhelm the system. I want to think of it this way, because this is what level 2 is about. Think of it this way. If you blow a fuse in your garage, in your circuit breaker, and the lights go out, is that blown fuse a good thing or a bad thing? Think about it. In the big picture, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Why is it a good thing?
Because you got an overload.
Because your house doesn't burn down.
Because your house doesn't burn down. Right. Spinal subluxations are an overload. And the circuit being blown, short-term strategy. If the circuits to your refrigerator stayed blown, would that be bad? What would happen?
Your food would rot.
Yes. And the longer the circuits are blown in your nerve system, your body rots on the inside. Because it's not getting the light or life it's meant to receive. But now that it's starting to get that, your body can look at it and say, wow, there really is rotting milk in there. Oh, now that the lights are back on the kitchen and I can go into that room, I can smell the stuff that was there, that I was avoiding the room for 30 years. But the physical, chemical, and emotional overloads that you have in your body might be a good short-term strategy for you to shut off the experience of bad long-term strategy. It's literally a walling off of different parts of your physiology. Different walling off of your experience. Alienating, isolating, separating yourself from things that overloaded your body. Compartmentalization. Much more frequently, people have emotional and chemical overloads than physical overloads. Think about it. Cavemen probably have more physical overloads than us. We have a lot more emotional and chemical overloads than our physiology is really evolved to handle at this point. Okay? Or had the time to learn how to handle. So as people start to have this experience in level 2 of the somatopsychic wave, it's really, the first part is their body develops a stretching response. So we hold longer contacts and do things to position their body, and they'll literally feel tension build. But understand, they've gone from high tension to low tension. Tension building is okay because there's safety in their body and it can be purposeful. They'll feel energy tingling or something like they're on the table and like they want to move an area. They want to stretch, and they often think, I'm in a doctor's office, I'm supposed to stay still. That's okay, you're allowed to move. It's the anti-doctor's office. So we'll start all of a sudden that we have these gateways or passageways that have opened up, and we'll hold these longer contacts, and people will feel things stretch, undulate, or tension building. If they haven't been on the workshop, they may not realize that that tension building is the fuel building for them to move their spine. Mm-hmm. So energy, tingling, the indiscriminate sensation that you want to stretch an area, muscle tension building, are all signs of the somatopsychic wave starting. And very often at this point, people will tell me, I just feel like I get off the table and I feel so tense, or I get off the table and I feel like my body's trying to do something. Allow is the key word. Allow your body to move. Okay? Think of if you were at home and you were sitting on the couch and something was disturbing you in your lower back, you might, while you're sitting on the couch and not thinking of anything of it, go like that. And you might hear something pop or release. This is going to start happening on the table. It's the first stages of developing the somatopsychic wave. Very often it's first starting very subconscious, or very unconscious, or subcortical, below the awareness of the person's body. That then goes into having a more global wave, where they'll feel we'll work on their neck and they'll feel movement in their lower back. Or we'll work on their lower spine and they'll feel movement in their neck, or energy or tingling. And then starts happening that they're not just having the area that we're holding the contact move, but somewhere distant from it. And then that turns into a very dolphin-like or fish-like rhythmic wave that moves through the person's body. Mm. And as the body is then moving, there's information content in that movement or that wave that's been stored up, that's been in packets. Think of it this way. Cell phones, right? Cell phones, how does it receive a signal? It's a light wave that comes, right, through a satellite. But that light wave has some information content that you perceive as a person's voice, as the molecules that are moved by the speaker out of the cell phone move in such a way, again, a wave, right? Sound wave, that then hits your ear, your cell membrane of your ear, right? And that vibration that gets interpreted is in your brain, which is another wave, as words that you understand. So understand that when you're having these, when you see people having the somatopsychic wave in their body, there's information content. Now, you may not know how to interpret it. You may not say, oh, that was when this happened to me at 12 years old. It doesn't have to be. You don't, if you go step in dog poo, you don't like look at it and say, well, was this a Cocker Spaniel, or was it, a Doberman, or, you just wipe it off your shoe, right? You don't analyze it.